I know you won't be here. We will. I know. But I don't have my speaker set up. So we will watch it again. Tomorrow will not be the only time. Taylor, whatever you're doing, be with us. Okay? All right. So, you know when you warm up something and you test it to see if it's hot? Okay, that's what we're doing today. We are not going full force into trig. No one in here is in Algebra 2 at trig, right? Yes. So today is just a review. You're probably going to be bored. Okay? I mean, that's not uncommon for you. But you keep us entertained, Hung. We love you. Okay? So this is just like a test drive. Okay? So this is we're dipping our finger into trig and we're taking it back out. We're just going over the basics. You understand? These are just the basics. So just stay with me. Okay? Test drive. Take 1 minute and read this first paragraph.
Can I read it out loud?
No. So when people say, what is trig? What is trigonometry? Well, trigon means triangle, and metron means measure. So trigonometry means you're finding the measures of triangles. That's what it is. You're finding the measures of triangles. All kinds of different measures. Angle measures, side measures. And you're using trigonometry. I don't like saying this word. We are using trig ratios to find these. So the reason we're doing this in chapter 8 after chapter 7, because we did ratios in chapter 7, is because there's a bunch of ratios. Okay? So notice, all of these triangles are going to be what kind of triangles? Right. So this is right triangle trig. Okay? So, in trig, you have sine. This is the long way to write sine. There's actually an E on the end. So it's not really sin, it's sine. Come on, focus. Sine, cosine, and tangent. However, we like to shorten it to sine, cos, and tan. That's how you see these, but they're actually written out, sine, cosine, and tangent. These are your ratios. Sine of A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. These ratios are imperative. They are so important. You will memorize these ratios and use them for the rest of your mathematical career, however far that takes you. Whether it's just taking the basic whatever you need in college, whether that's taking you to whatever your final class is in high school. In Algebra 2 at trig and pre-cal, you will use these trig ratios. And here's how you memorize them. So, ka, toa. Memorize it. Sleep with it at night. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Don't forget it. Yes. Some people like sayings. I have a saying for you if you like sayings. It's a lot longer than so katoa. Some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on apples. 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 Back in my day, that was what the teachers taught. But here in 2018, we like to be a little bit more conservative. So we use apples. Apples. I did not teach you that word, Christian did. Apples. Okay? What word did I teach you? Apples. Apples. I'm recording. I have it on recording. I am teaching you apples. Okay? Alright, so Okay, so how do I use this trig ratio? Okay.
No, but Mr. Nestor taught me this, and he confused me.
Okay, so I hope that no one listens to that on this recording. Okay, so this letter right here, this is your angle measure. So, angle A, angle B, angle A, angle B, angle, angle, okay. So you have your trig and your angle. Trig, angle. The trig ratio changes depending on what you have and what you need. We will get more into that tomorrow, okay? Today is practicing just setting this up. So, op stands for opposite. Hype stands for hypotenuse, not let's get hype, hypotenuse. So, O stands for opposite over hypotenuse. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is isn't this much more better to memorize than this?
Yeah. Or some old hippie called another hippie to on acid.
Apples, and you already memorized it, so just saying. Okay, so here's how it works. If you are using angle A, put your pen on angle A. Okay, let's not say that again. It's apples. Well, it was fun. Now it's gone. From angle A, if we're going to set up a trig ratio, what side is opposite of A? Side
A.
Well, okay, side A, but using 2 points, we would call it CB. Okay, what's hypotenuse? Side? Okay, side AB. So what does adjacent stand for? Well, adjacent is just whatever's left. Because it's always easy to recognize what's opposite. It's easy to recognize your hypotenuse. And your adjacent, it's whatever's touching it, but what's not hypotenuse. Does that make sense? If that confuses you, find your opposite, find your hypotenuse, whatever's left, that's your adjacent.
Is there always a 90-degree angle?
Yes.
So can we find a hypotenuse like that?
Yes. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page and practice a little bit. We're just practicing setting these up. Okay, sine is what? So, I would literally write this on everything you do with, like, everything. Okay. So, starting right here. All we are doing, don't read these instructions right now. Follow my instructions. Sine of A. Let's set up the trig ratio. So, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. O divided by H. Well, from A, what's opposite? Do y'all agree? What's hypotenuse? Does everybody agree? Okay. All we're doing is setting it up. Remember, test run. We're not diving into the deep end. We're taking baby steps. Okay, now, same trig function, still so, but we're going from angle B. So our opposite changes. Question, opposite is now 3. Hypotenuse is still 5. What's our adjacent? Right. Keep going. Set up the rest of these.
Don't you guys teach like cosine?
Teach what?
Cosine?
We will get there. Not yet. Slow. Baby steps on. Baby steps. How was it? Not bad? Okay. Can we take it a step further? Did I mess up? Yes? No? Okay. So all we did was set up the trig ratio. But notice, all we know is that C is a 90-degree angle. We don't know A or B. All of these trig ratios could have helped us solve for A or B. So let's take, you want to solve for A or B?
I have a question.
Yes.
On like tan A, why is it 4/5? I thought 5 was the hypotenuse.
I missed that probably. Opposite is 4. It's 3. That's why Dave was looking at me weird. I got 5 hours of sleep last night.
Nice.
Why? Have y'all heard about that huge fire in Calera?
Yes.
So my husband's a firefighter. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
And so he was home last night. Hey Siri. But so when he's home and there's a fire, he like has this radio, and so he was laying in bed with the radio on, like right beside his pillow, listening to everything that's happening. And so I'm laying here listening to this fire, and it's like, and I'm just like trying to go to sleep. And then his phone rings, and he gets called to go to this fire and work the fire, and then I just couldn't go to sleep. I mean, that's no excuse to put the wrong number, but I was just stating a fact. Okay, all right, so let's take it one step further. If we want to actually solve and find A or B, what you would do is this. So let's take this one right here. You have cosine of B is equal to the ratio 4/5. B is angle B, right? So how would we solve for angle B? So what happens right now is cosine and B are glued together by multiplication. How do you break anything that's glued together by multiplication? You divide. So what happens when you divide, this is new, so just bear with me. What happens when you divide by a trig function is, and I'm just showing you this so you can see it in your head, but this is really not how it works. Okay, so just bear with me. When you divide by a cosine to cancel it out, what really happens is you take the inverse. So you get B by itself, but now you're taking cosine inverse of your trig ratio 4/5. So that's what happens when you cross the cosine or the tangent or the sine from one side of the equal sign to the other. Okay? So what I need you to do is I need everyone to have a real calculator. Not a cell phone, a real calculator. Congratulations, you have officially upgraded to the math where your phone cannot do it. Okay, first step. I need everyone's calculator to be in degrees, not radians. Here's one, Madison, can I see your calculator? Here's one hint to know. If you have this calculator, you see how it says degrees? That means you're in degrees. If you're not, press DRG and go to degrees. Here you go. Okay? So here is how you would solve for angle B. Do you see on your calculator sine, cosine, tangent? Do you see above it sine inverse, cosine inverse, tan inverse? So, oh look, we're learning something new. Isn't this fun? So you press second, and then which one are we pressing? Cosine inverse, 4 divided by 5 equals, so your B, angle B, is equal to 36.9 degrees. Come help. Look, what did we do in this class before hung?
So in calculator, you just need to press shift, press the cosine right here, press, 4/5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa, he went too
This
fancy.
that calculator can calculate like
Yeah, yeah.
organized function.
Hold on, he went too much.
You got shift, you got.
That's good. Yeah, okay, so I don't think you press second. You have to press, yeah, hung, good job, thank you. Shift and then second. Did you have the inverse?
Oh, no.
You got to press shift and then second. Okay? All right, so what I want you to do is, how was that? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to go over here. Oh, we got 5 minutes. Okay, here's your homework. Ready? No. Here's your homework. On these two boxes, notice this bottom box right here. You're not taking the inverse. You're just practicing using your calculator. So number 1 should look like this. Regular sine, no inverse. Sine 35, enter, round it to 4 decimal places. So 0.573.
6.
Yes. That's all you're doing. Okay? Top portion. Set up your ratios like we just did here. So all of your ratios should be set up. And then I'm going to circle the ones that I want you to find the angle of. So I want you to find the angle of sine A and tangent B. So the first and the last. Do y'all know what I mean by that?
Do what we just did.
Do that. Take the inverse only twice. Find angle A and find angle B. Comprehend?
So you do what you just did, except instead of using cosine.
We use tangent inverse and sine inverse.